CHICKEN. Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Hey guys, the Chicken is here, back today with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we are on the developer build, which explains why we have a million gems, unlimited resources. But we got a huge update. We got a huge September update. It is coming sometime next week, and we're gonna go over everything. So it's some little stuff, but it's got a lot of like helpful main base things that are actually pretty cool. So I'm excited to show you guys all this. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You want to stay up to date on everything Boom Beach. And if I appreciate it, if you use that code CHICKEN in the shop, it does help to support the channel. So let's get into it. So we're going to go over balance changes first, okay? So first off, right out of the gates, Proto Troop upgrade costs are now capped at 1,500. The next change is Rodero's Wingmen now cost 3 plus 3 gunboat energy. Seeker shots cost 7 plus 7 GB. And deploys 4 seekers. And what that means, it means it's a change of GBE costs, essentially. It's kind of confusing, but it's basically we get more gunboat energy back from destroying buildings on a very small percentage. If we destroy 4 buildings, 10% boost, players will get the following energy for each building. The old way would have been 3, 3, 3, 3, 3.3 rounded down to 3, the total is 12. New is 3, 3, 3, 4, 3.3 plus 3.3 plus 3.3 plus 3.3, and that total is going to be 13.2 at the 4th building. So the decimals added up to a full energy point. Kind of confusing, but yeah, basically the gunboat is now supporting partial energy gain. For example, if a sector boost increased GBE gains from destruction by 10%, previously these energy gains would have been rounded down and the boost would have had no effect. Now no rounding down will be done, for example. So, kind of confusing takeaway. Gunboat gives you more GB, or gunboat energy. When you destroy buildings, you get more GB back, I think is how that works. They worded that super confusingly. So back to Rodero. So his wingmen now cost a little bit less GB and he now deploys 4 seekers. So remember his seeker ability before, it wasn't really strong, it wasn't really useful, nobody really used it because we only got 2 seekers. They upped it to 4. I don't know if that's necessarily going to make, that super strong or not, but it's going to be fun to test out. And seeker shot count is now properly shown in the info screen. And we also have a change to life leech. Life leech is now calculated using a percentage of the damage done instead of constant value per hit. Area attacks can now also trigger life leech. Mitigating damage with shields or abilities reduces the amount of life leech gained. So I think that's more for like troops like Grens and stuff, where it was like their direct damage on a target opposed to their splash damage when they're hitting multiple targets was a factor. Might be for Scorchers too, I don't know. So we got a couple more boring fixes, then we'll go into the exciting stuff. So bug fixes. They fixed a centering issue with some icons, mainly proto defense icons. They fixed a UI, which means user interface, issue with Kavan's galvanizing presence perk that showed it affected by troop boost. They fixed a bug where landing crafts could go out of position if the player swapped their position while constructing them. So these are just little kind of, like dopey things, moving your land crafts around. They look a little bit smoother and yeah, they're not as wonky anymore. I say that as that like kind of glitches out on me, but yeah, little stuff like that. They fixed a combat HUD showing gunboat ability being available too early and displaying not enough energy if player immediately pressed it. They also fixed queued statues, sometimes handling sculptor optimizer incorrectly and starting with the full sculpt time instead. So yeah, some bug fixes, that's good. So now we'll get into the gameplay. So we have some battle changes. So spawned units from destroyed choppers now move to active flare, which is really cool. I really like this one. So if you're heavy chopper rushing, or if your Zookas are coming down from a rocket chopper that just got popped and you're on the engine room, you don't have to reflare them, which is really nice. They're going to automatically go to the target that's already flared. Which is honestly a pretty big change for heavy choppers, because that was always a frustrating point, and you had to save your gunboat energy for it too, right? It was like at the very end. you know, you might be able to get a shock or a med kit off or something, but you got to hold on for that flare, because if the heavies that are exploding aren't going to attack the engine room, then, you know, that's no good. So a little bit of a buff to HC and RC there, but I'm all for it. What else do we have in terms of battle? So bunkers damage reduction no longer affects the neighboring buildings if they are both hit with the same projectile. So where's my bunker? Over here. Right over here. So damage reduction no longer affects the neighboring buildings. They both hit with the same projectile. So that's good. That seems kind of weird that it was like that before. They fixed various situations where units might ignore flares, which is great. That's certainly what happens sometimes, like with Brick. I hope that fixes that completely. The next change, Bullet's shock knuckles will no longer quickly move him over long distances. Whoa! You can't do the bullet teleport anymore. So that used to be a thing. And I honestly wasn't super against it. I mean, it was the same for everybody and it was difficult to pull off. It was kind of cool. But basically what would happen is that you would use shock knuckles and then Bullet would walk up to the building ready to shock knuckle it. Walk, walk, walk. And if you killed that building right before he got there and he started to do his like shoulder shock knuckle hit, then what would happen is he'd go to the next building, and if he was on the wall, he'd go like straight up into the middle of the base, or you know, however the base was laid out. So that's gone. So yeah, if you don't know how to do it, it doesn't matter because you can't do it anymore. So that's interesting. Fixed Rodero's bombing run freeze caused by hidden proto defenses. Okay, so big buff there to Rodero. So remember in the season where we used him, people were putting hot pots under sky shields. Was it related specifically to the sky shield? By hidden proto defenses. Yeah, so it must have been the hot pot and also the boom surprise. I don't think we had the boom surprise, so we didn't know. But yeah, people were putting hot pots out because when Rodero would do his bombing run and come back, as soon as if the hot pot was down and then it came up, it'd freeze him in place, and it made him completely useless. Again, it's the same for everybody, so it was, you know, it was whatever. But yeah, I'm glad that's fixed because Rodero is very fun to use, and that's super annoying when that happens because it was kind of wonky too. Like it didn't happen every single time I found, so that's a great change. What do we have next here? Shock knuckles we talked about. Bombing run. The next one, prevent Rodero's bombing run from extending beyond the gameplay area borders. Wow, that's huge. That's actually really huge because if you think about it, a lot of troops do that. Grens, you know, they constantly shoot over the side of the map and over out of bounds and stuff. So for Rodero to stay contained, he's going to be super strong with those couple changes. If he has to stay in bounds, you're guaranteed to get, you know, all of his damage out, which is a lot. So that's very interesting. Fix unit versus unit retargeting causing issues in situations where the unit causing retargeting does not get selected as the new target. For example, Seekers are unable to target anything but the engine room and would start critters causing retarget. Okay, so there was a bug with Seekers and the critter launcher critters. The critter launcher critters would completely shut down the Seekers. No, I shouldn't say completely, but they would mess them up a lot because what would happen is when they got hit with the critter launcher critter, they would they'd stop and they'd retarget. They're still going to the same spot, but it would pause them in place for a second. So it was almost like a mini, you know, shock launcher hitting them because they would stop and retarget every single time, which made them, from what I understand from the Seeker guys, it made them pretty much unusable. So yeah, lots of offense buffs here. This is great. So that's it for battle improvements. That's it for gameplay stuff. And I do apologize that I couldn't throw do a heavily edited video and throw this all on the screen. They gave us 24 hours notice for this, and I just do not, I barely have an hour to get this video out, so I do apologize. It doesn't look cooler, but it is what it is. At least we'll get you guys all the info. So we got some improvements. So numerous UI fixes, mostly text placement issues, and adding darkening to backgrounds. Warship Shop creator support pop-up. See if we can see that. Looks pretty much the same to me. Improved performance when applying certain status effects such as speed serum to large amounts of troops. Okay, that's cool. Remove friends tab from matchmaking leaderboards. Mystical monument leaderboards. Button for Mystical Monument leaderboard is shown when visiting other players through Mystical Monument leaderboard. So this is on the dev build. I don't know exactly how this is going to work. Yeah, spoiler alert. Mystical Monument is going to be able to go to 500 now. I can't show it to you. They don't want us to show you what it's going to look like. They want it to be a surprise. But I can go to Skull Crusher's Island here. And then what? What's the change? Then kind of looks the same to me, but I don't know. That's cool. More Mystical Monument. And I'm 100% going to be gemming that to level 500. I got to do it. Depending on how expensive it is. But yeah, saving up your time savers, guys. That was the biggest thing for the Mystical Monument. Show when visiting. If resources in the inventory are at or over the cap, these resources are shown in the orange text. New landing craft troop user interface. In addition to showing when all troops are ready, shows when the next troop is ready. That's kind of cool, I guess. Submarine dives can now be sped up with diamonds or time savers by tapping the buoy on the archipelago map. Alright, where's the buoy? I don't see a buoy. But if we go here... Okay, let's say we have a dive going. Oh, cool. Speed up. So diving for us, so then we hit speed up. And we can instant finish it, or we can use, since we're on the dev build, we can use 1,000,000 time savers. That's pretty cool. Something else to use time savers for is good. Yeah, I like that. New features, Mystical Monument can now be built to level 500. 2 new visual upgrades have been added. I assume they're going to come at 400 and 500, but again, I can't show you the level 500 for whatever reason. I guess they want it to be, kind of a surprise, but, for me, I'd want to know what it looks like. I don't know. It's kind of exciting, I guess, but either way, 2 new visual upgrades, so yeah, it's going to be expensive. Event sidebar, new UI element, which you guys have probably seen on the screen by now, on the video here. A new UI element has been added that shows all currently active events and how to unlock them. So if we go over here on our main base, we can click on this schedule calendar kind of tab, and it shows us exactly what's happening. So we can see the Mega Crab, just because this is the dev build. We can see there's going to be an all-troop mania in 8 days. Now this is on the dev build, so these could be events that are coming, but I don't think that they are. We got Dr. T's Tropical Island coming out. That's really cool. I like that. It looks really good, so I like that change. So Mystical Monument, events sidebar. The sidebar is accessed from the calendar button at the right side of the screen like we just showed you. If there's an arrow icon next to the event, tapping it takes the player to the event. So, okay, that didn't really take me to the event. Or maybe it does. Maybe it's just saying extra ability. Okay, it does. So we tap the arrow. Very cool. Very, very cool. I like that change a lot. And then we also have the helper. So you guys have seen this dude with the mission daily chest statue. So we click on that, and it gives us what are called standing orders. So the building suggester has been replaced with this guy. Before I used to say, like, you should upgrade this, whatever. And he's replaced now with the helper. And he's basically the same thing, but he does, like, events and statues and submarine dives and outposts and stuff like that. If there are outstanding tasks, the helper will remind the player of this. I wonder what happens if we upgrade something. Does it tell us it's going to, like, be finished in a certain amount of time? Or no, we can go over here. Okay. Go over here, and then what does this do? Whoa, the Path of Glory. Interesting. Headquarters. Okay, so it basically tells you your HQ levels. And what we can get from there. So that's kind of cool. The building suggester and Path of Glory can be accessed via this screen. The task suggestion text can be toggled on and off in the gameplay options menu. So you don't like it, you can turn it off too. So yeah, there it is, guys. There's your September update, which is pretty cool. I I want to know what you guys think. I'm pretty excited. It's not a huge, thing, but a lot of nice fixes, especially on the warship side. I like that. Hopefully we're going to see more Rodero coming because I'm excited to use him now. He's going to be super strong. And yeah, just some little fixes that are going to make everything run smoother, look a little bit better, and make things easier for new players, which is great for the health of the game overall. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. I want to hear from you down below in the comments, and we'll catch you next one, guys. Chicken out. Merrick.